Hi everyone. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry I haven't put anything up for a few days. Beginning of the week I was quite unwell, so I really wasn't in the mood to put anything up or in a sort of fit enough state to do it really. But anyway, so I hope you're all well and fine. I'm recovering well, thank you very much. And I hope you're going to enjoy today's video. And if you're new, welcome to Warren's Team Talk. I hope you're going to enjoy my channel, and I hope you're going to enjoy what I've got on offer for you today. Today I'm going to do a review of the FA Premier League's match day 3. And it was an interesting match day. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what happened. So, and what we'll also do is we'll also be talking about my predictions as well. So, so match day 3, first game of the match day, saw Arsenal travel up to Manchester City. And unfortunately for my beloved Arsenal, they got absolutely smashed. 2-0 down in about 11 minutes. Granit Xhaka, unsurprisingly, getting sent off. And to me, it looked like Mikel Arteta was quite happy about how he performed because he got a little slap on the bum as he walked off. I mean, I don't know. It's madness. We've got a comment coming. Hi there. Hi there, Jamie Hill, spoken word poetry. Bonjour to you too. I don't know. My French isn't that good, so I'm going to have to speak in English. I can speak a bit of Spanish and a tiny bit of German, but yeah. So welcome and thanks for coming in and checking out my channel, and checking out this video as well. So let's move on. I hope you're well anyway, Jamie. I hope everything's going all right for you. Yeah, and then the second half was just complete and utter destruction. Jamie says it means hello. Yeah, I knew it. Thanks a lot, Jamie. I knew that bonjour means hello, but that's about all I knew. I used to be able to count up to 10 in French, but that's about it, really. But anyway, I hope you're all right, mate. And thanks for coming in, like I said. And I hope you're having a great day. So, so in the end, Arsenal got thumped by 5-0. And then the next game saw Aston Villa take on Brentford, and I predicted that Villa would win by 2-1, and in fact it ended in a 1-1 draw. So Brentford still unbeaten since their promotion to the Premier League, and I was a bit surprised by that one because I did think that Villa would have too much for them, but there you go, Brentford are doing quite well, aren't they? So then we had Brighton home to Everton, and Everton won that game fairly comfortably, I think. I did predict they would win by 1-0, but in fact they won by 2-0. So fair play to Everton, and Rafa seems to be working his magic up there on Merseyside. Next game, Newcastle against Southampton. I did think this was going to be quite a tight game, and I didn't think there'd be a lot of goals in it. But it turned out my prediction was it would be a 1-1 draw, and in fact it was a 2-2 draw. So sounds like it was quite an entertaining game. I don't know what you think about any of these games, Jamie. Any views about the games that we talked about so far? And then the next one, Norwich City and Leicester. Now, I thought Norwich might improve a little bit for this game and manage to get a draw. because Leicester are a very strong side, very well run club, and but unfortunately it didn't happen. I'd put it down as a 1-1 draw, and Leicester had beaten Norwich by. Leicester ended up beating Norwich by 2-1. So, yeah, that was a bit of a surprise for me because I thought Norwich would do better than that. To be quite honest, I thought that they would be able to hold on to a draw, and but unfortunately for them, they ended up losing by 2-1. So let's look at the next set of fixtures. And the next set of fixtures, first one, West Ham entertained Crystal Palace. And that was a bit of a surprise for me, that one. I thought West Ham would win that game fairly easily. And looks like Jamie's come back with a comment, and he's saying that sadly Norwich will go down. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see Norwich go down either, mate, to be honest. One of my best friends is a Norwich supporter, and I do like the club. I do like the way they try to play football, and I'd just like to see them make a better fist of it than what they did the last time they were in the Premier League, really. So, yeah, I think you might be right. So let's move on. Like I said, I thought West Ham would win it fairly comfortably. I predicted they'd win 2-0, and in fact, the game ended in a 2-2 draw. And then the next game. Yeah, before we go on to that, though, Jamie, who else do you think's going to go down with Norwich? I'm quite interested to find out at this early stage if anyone's got any ideas about who else is likely to go down. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And here's James has turned up. That's great. Nice to see you, James. Yeah, I'm fine, mate. I'm doing really well, thanks. So how are you? You're okay? Everything all right with you? I hope. So I'm just going through the last Premier League match day results and my predictions. We were on the West Ham Crystal Palace match, and I'm gonna have a continue looking at that one and look at. Jamie has come in and said to my question about who else you all thought would go down. He said that he thought that he just said, I just look at the table. Okay, mate, fair enough. And then James come back with another comment saying that he's not bad. Well, that's great news. I'm happy to hear that. So let's move on. After the West Ham game, I was surprised with that one because I thought, I thought that West Ham would have too much for Palace, especially after what happened last season. But Crystal Palace managed to get a 2-2 draw. So Patrick Vieira did a good job to get a point down at Palace, by the looks of it. Burnley, Norwich, and sadly Arsenal. Jamie, I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility, and I'm really worried about it. I am really worried because I think there's a good chance it could happen unless there's some significant changes at the club in the management structure, but we'll see. So, yeah, I don't think your predictions are far off, really. Burnley, Norwich, and sadly Arsenal. Anyway, so Liverpool next game, Liverpool and Chelsea. Big game, probably the biggest game of the weekend. And a good friend of mine who's a Liverpool fan, she went up to Anfield to watch the match all the way from South London. Went up there on her own as well, so fair play to her. all decked out in her Liverpool gear, and she wasn't particularly optimistic before the game started. But I kept saying to her, "No, you'll win." And I thought they'd win by 2-1. And then James has come in and said, I've said Norwich, Watford and Southampton to go down. Well, if that happens, James, I'd be a bit sad about Norwich going down, but the good news about that would be that it would have meant that Arsenal had managed to avoid relegation for a second season running. So, but the thing is, we're such a shambles. I just can't see where the goals are going to come from and where the win's going to come from for Arsenal at the moment. But anyway, there's another comment coming from Jamie, and he says, I've got a bad feeling Arsenal will go down. And so do I, Jamie, because the club's a mess. And they just keep making stupid mistake after stupid mistakes. Mikel Arteta just seems completely and utterly clueless. And I just think that they're going to go down if nothing is addressed and things aren't changed. I really do. And I 100% agree with you, mate. Yeah, so like I say, I thought Liverpool would beat Chelsea by 2-1. In fact, the game ended in a 1-1 draw. And there was I heard a story about some homophobic chanting at the game. And apparently this has happened in 2 of Liverpool's games so far this season. They did it away at Norwich, some of their supporters, and then this game as well. And then James has come in. Red card did spoil. James says the red card did spoil the game at Anfield, but it was the right decision. It denied a goal-scoring opportunity. Well, I have to say I didn't see the incident, and I haven't heard anyone complaining about Liverpool getting a penalty. So, yeah, I'm just not a big fan of Chelsea, to be quite honest. Yeah, mainly because they're our London rivals. I mean, I have the utmost respect for them, the way they run. I think they're very, very well-run club. They've got as far as I'm concerned, they've got the right mentality. So, yeah, but other than that, I'm not a big fan because obviously they are big rivals. Then the next game saw Burnley take on Leeds at Turf Moor, and I thought that Leeds would win by 2-1, and it ended up being a 1-1 draw. So, yeah, bit of a shock for me, that one, because I really thought that Leeds would be able to turn Burnley over. And then the next game, Tottenham against Watford. I did think, unfortunately, that Tottenham would win by 2-0, actually. But they ended up winning the game by 1-0. So, yeah, I managed to get the fact that Tottenham would win right, but they only won by 1-0, but that was enough. 3 points is 3 points, isn't it? And then the final game of the match day, Wolves against Manchester United. I thought that United would overpower Wolves fairly comfortably by 2-0. In fact, the result was only 1-0. So James has come back another comment, and he's saying that Chris Wood's goal for Burnley was the 30,000th Premier League goal. Is that right? 30,000 league goals in the Premier League. My God, that's unbelievable. Yeah. And yeah, Chris Woods, he's a real handful, isn't he? He's like real big physical presence up front. And Wolves should have been out of sight against United. Yeah, well, I didn't actually see the game, so I can't really comment about that. But yeah, it was a good win for United, really. But Wolves look like they're in a bit of trouble, to be honest. They're just not getting the results, aren't they? Maybe it's because they got a new manager and he's trying to get his ideas over to the squad and whatnot, and it's taking time. I really don't know. But anyway, so moving on. So after these results, it meant, and this for me is a horrific scenario, absolute nightmare. Tottenham Hotspur are top of the league, played 3, won 3, 3 goals for, none against, and 9 points. And Arsenal bottom, having played 3, lost 3, scored no goals, and conceded 9. So yeah, and this has never ever happened in the history of Arsenal that we've been bottom of the league when Tottenham have been top. So another fantastic record for Mikel Arteta. And then the other results meant that West Ham was second, Man United third, Chelsea fourth, Liverpool fifth, and Everton sixth. So, Ryan, your thoughts on the defender you bought deadline day? James wants to know what I thought about the defender that we bought on deadline day. I thought the entire day was really quiet for deadline day. Yeah, it was a bit, wasn't it? This defender that we bought, I absolutely know nothing about him. And I just think that the whole transfer business by Arsenal was the whole thing was a deliberate ploy to give Mikel Arteta more time in the job, because all of them are all really young, and they're gonna keep banging on about saying, well, they're all really young players and they need time to develop and so on, so we need to give him time and so on and so forth. So that's what I think that was all about. The problem is, if they'd spent the most amount of money. They spent the most amount of money in world football this transfer window. If they'd spent that money on players that were ready now to go into the team and improve the team now, then if Mikel Arteta still hadn't have done it, the club would have had no choice but would have been under huge pressure to sack him. So that's why I think that's the case. So I don't know what you think, guys, but that's my thoughts on it. Jamie's come in with another comment saying, I had a dream Everton won a trophy and I woke up and was convinced they did. I believe it's coming soon. I think they will. And I think that Rafa is a superb manager, and I'd love to have had him at Arsenal. And I think he will lead them to success and win a trophy for them. So, yeah, I completely agree with you about that one, Jamie. And Jamie said it was the FA Cup. Well, I can see that happening this year. I really can. And I think they might even get in the top 4. But if not the top 4, certainly in the top 6. And then Jamie comes in and says, maddest thing is Arsenal were the highest spenders and Everton were the lowest spenders. Well, there you go. There you go. That says it all, doesn't it? It's absolute madness. So it is madness. And it just... the whole thing at Arsenal Football Club is based on making money and protecting this manager that they got in charge. That's what it is to me. And then we've got another comment. James Dunlop says, Jamie, I hope you're right about that. Well, I think he's going to be, James. I really do. I can see it happening, definitely. And I think it could happen this season. And then Spoken Word says, yes, it is not the players, but the coaching system. Yeah, well, the coaching at Arsenal, if that's who you're talking about, is absolutely shambolic. There's so many players that are going backwards or not improving. It's just crazy. Absolutely. I've never seen the club in such a state as what it is now. And I've been supporting the club since I was a 5-year-old in 1972. And then Deluded Football says, who do you support, Warren? Right, I've got a number of clubs that I follow. My main one is Arsenal. And then I'm also a massive Celtic supporter and Dunfermline Athletic because of my family background. And then down the years, I've also followed Maidstone United around while they were in the Football League for a while. And also, I watched Tunbridge Angels, which is a team local to where I live, who play in non-league football. And I'll go on later today. I'm going to do a video about my memories of watching Arsenal during the 1990-91 season, and I'll explain a bit more about that there. So if you're around when I do that, feel free to come in and chat to me about it more there. It'll be interesting. Next comment. Jamie Hill says, yeah, Everton will win something in the next few years. Rafa will do a service. I honestly believe that Rafa is a top manager, and I think it was a really wise decision that Everton have made to appoint him, and he's going to bring them success. The only issue that I can see with Rafa is his connections to Liverpool, and if things start to go wrong, I can see the Everton fans getting on his back and causing a problem for him. But other than that, I can't see any reason why he wouldn't be successful. James has come in. When Terry returns from holiday, I need to make sure I do sanity check for the people in the chat again. Oh my God, yeah, that's going to be mad. I just can't wait to see what excuses he comes out with. I really can't. I'm sure one of them is going to be that we need to give these players time. He needs time to work with them to get them performing, all that sort of nonsense. I'm sure that's what he's going to start saying. Spoken word poetry, Jamie Hill says, Arsenal. Yeah. And he said, yes, at Arsenal. Yeah, mate, I agree. It's a shambles. Absolute shambles, Jamie. The coaching at Arsenal is appalling. And James has come in again. Rafa said Rafa should be given the manager should have been the manager to replace Emery back in 2019. Well, that's what I go again. Oh, I thought we'd lost the connection, but it's back again. Sorry about that, guys. My internet's a bit dicey at the moment. I'm back again. Sorry about that, guys. I've had a lot of trouble with my internet. So once I finish this stream, I'm going to have some lunch, and then I'm going to be calling Sky to have a right go at them, because I'm sick of this. Every single day it goes down at least twice. So anyone's thinking about getting Sky broadband, don't touch it with a barge pole. I think Emery would do. Jamie says he thinks that Emery would do well at Everton also. Emery's a top quality coach, mate. Something obviously went on at Arsenal at the end of that season when they went to the Europa League final, which meant that they didn't get top four. But he's proven time and time again that he's a way better coach than Arteta. And he didn't even get backed, and he managed to get the club into 5th spot. So yeah. James says, looking at the league table so far, I've been impressed with Brentford, the way they have started. Yeah, they have started really well. And I've noticed that this happens sometimes, that you'll get a club when they come up from the Championship who do really well in the first season. So let's see what happens with them, because that might happen with them this year. They might be the ones. And then Jamie Hill says, ain't it true Everton are more for Celtic than Rangers? Well, I've heard that as well. I have heard that. Whether that's true or not, I'm not 100% sure, but because they've had players and coaches and whatnot come down from Rangers to manage them in the past and play for them. Duncan Ferguson came down from Rangers to play for them, and and James come in and says, Jamie, I don't know that's true, Jamie. I don't know the full details. I think it's because, guys, that traditionally Everton have always had a very big Catholic support. Their supporters, they've been able to draw on supporters from the Catholic community quite a lot. So that's probably got something to do with it. And Jamie Hill says, thanks, James. And then, so I prefer Celtic now, Jamie Hill. Good man, Jamie. Good boy. That's what I like to hear. Right, guys. I'm going to finish this stream up. I hope that you're all okay, and if you've enjoyed our little chat. I'm going to try and get on again this afternoon to do the next episode in the Memories of the Football Terrorist, when I talk about Arsenal's 1990-91 season, when they lost only one game in the whole season. So yeah, that should be interesting. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys later. And just a second.